Okay, so good morning, sports fans. Good morning, Derek in Canada, Dave in Bridgend, and anyone else that is fortunate enough to look at this new video of me in a quarry in the West Country. I won't say the name because I'm not really allowed to video in here. But anyway, we're going to do a full tip, a full load on the Bell 30E. At the moment, I'm on the tip. I've just done my tipping. Body's coming down. We're half down this little bit of a steep ramp coming out of here. Looks like crashing an aeroplane. There we are. Okay. So, altogether, we've got 9 or 10 machines on today. So you've just seen 3 of us. There's me, maybe over there, and the one I'm behind, which is TARDIS from Lithuania. You'll have to excuse the windscreen wiper because it is raining here at the moment. But we're basically at the very top of the quarry in a new tip we've created to get rid of a load of dust that's accumulated over many years from the crushing and screening process. And it's a product that they can't do anything with, so they just want to get rid of it. So it's basically a new dumping ground for that. This is quite interesting for Derek and Dave. That water bowser there, that Caterpillar water bowser, which has been converted, I don't know whether you can see on the side of it, but it says Humphrey. Now, it's not a funny name for the machine. That's Gwyn Humphrey from Lanharan made that. At one time he was a licensed Caterpillar modifier, and Caterpillar would send him machines to modify for special purpose, and they did an awful lot of water bowsers for dust suppression. So here we go. These green lights here, as you can see, this is a bridleway, an ancient bridleway, and they've got right of way through the quarry. So they press a button, the lights change, the automatic CCTV comes on to make sure that all the trucks stop, all the vehicles stop, and the horses can go through. And here we are, we're at the very top of the quarry now in the Hall Road. This is quite nice because it's tarmac and it's nice and flat. We've got a maximum of 20 miles an hour we're allowed to do here, although in reality the trucks will easily do 30. So we're coming up behind TARDIS, who's a little bit slower than me generally, but then he's a steadier driver than me, and you can't decry him for that. So we're now about to descend into the bowels of the earth, down into the bottom of the great big quarry. You won't be able to see much of it because it's all covered in fog and mist. Here's another one of our trucks coming the other way. He's on his way to the tip. And off we go down the tarmac again. It's quite quiet today at the moment because it's early morning, but usually we've got block carrying trucks, Arctic trucks, coming the other way up here, going to the block plant, which is also at the very top of the quarry. And that, in the afternoons, that gets very busy. There's probably 60 Arctic lorries coming in and out, collecting breeze blocks and the like. So I'm just going to put the aircon on a second to make sure the windscreen stays clear, because it's quite warm outside, but it's pissing down with rain. So at the moment we've got a little bit of mist in the cab and outside. Here's another one of our trucks coming the other way. You can't quite see him, he's not in view. That's Dan. Now then, I have to wait here. TARDIS goes over to the right hand side now to have a look over the embankment to see what's coming up, because we have to time our turns here. If we get into conflict with other trucks, there's another contractor working in the same quarry as us at the same time, and we're going to go around a hairpin bend at the end of this straight, just past where TARDIS is. Now TARDIS is pulled in there, so I know there's something coming up the hill. As soon as he goes, I can go over to the right hand side, have a look over the side and see where the next truck coming up is. If it's one of our trucks, we have to wait there. Otherwise we go to the end of the road, take a look and see when we can physically turn to pull out. So at the moment, behind me, I've got an 8-wheeler aggregate truck and an Arctic truck coming down from the block works. They can't go anywhere because I can't go anywhere. So we've got an instant little mini traffic jam. You wouldn't think it would happen in a quarry, but it does. Anyway, so here comes our truck coming up past TARDIS. And I'm just pulling over to the left. You'll have to go over the other side. And then, and not until then, I can zip over to the other side, look over this embankment, and see what's coming up the hill. There's another one of our trucks coming, so it means I've got to pull in where TARDIS was pulled in. The 8-wheeler truck behind me hasn't grasped the concept yet, and he's pulled up behind me, and he's now going to cause an even bigger blockage because our truck won't be able to go past him and the Arctic truck that's behind him. So, interesting situation now. Here comes our truck round the hairpin. He's on full throttle there, believe it or not, and probably at the moment limited to about 6 miles an hour because of the weight of material he's carrying and the gradient that he's trying to negotiate. Yeah, we've got another Arctic truck coming up. Again, it doesn't help the situation. They're all as impatient as each other. The other thing with the Arctic trucks is, as you can see, they are quite nice and clean and tidy trucks, and they do not want to get dirt on them. So quite often they won't go over 8 or 9 miles an hour themselves on this road because they say they don't want to get dirt on their trucks. Now I've pulled forward. This is a 5-way junction here, and this is a truck from one of our competitors just coming past me. He's taking a different route to me, but I have to still turn around here around the hairpin. As I turn around the hairpin, yay, there's another one of our trucks coming up, which I hadn't seen because I was held at the junction for so long that he was miles away. I didn't know he was coming. So now we've got to give way to any laden trucks coming the other way because it's an uphill section. So that the uphill truck that's laden has got right of way over me. And this is one of our competitors' trucks, followed by another one of their trucks, who's taken advantage of the first one coming through because although the second truck is empty, he's going to nip through. And there's a third one coming up, and he might try and chance his arm. I doubt it because I had a big run-in with them yesterday, and they were told in no uncertain terms the rules of the road. Right. So here we go. These are older trucks with us, and about 50-ton capacity. They're quite big trucks. So down the hill we go. Now we're limited supposedly to 15 miles an hour down here, believe it or not, which we manage. We usually do about 20. Again, this is a narrow section. We have to give way to any loaded trucks coming the other way. It applies to us as well. So when we're loaded coming up the hill, anything coming down the hill, whether they're loaded or empty, has to give way to us. Now, you can see this overhead conveyor. It's quite interesting. If you just follow it down to the bottom, it takes a 90-degree turn there, and it carries on down to the bottom of the quarry. This quarry's got an unusual setup where it's actually got a walking quad crusher in the bottom of the quarry, which is connected to conveyors, which work like a pantograph, and they crush right at the face of the quarry normally into this great big crusher, and everything then comes up this conveyor. Everything, say, crushed down to 6-inch or whatever, comes up the conveyor up to the screening plant, which you'll see when we come back up the hill. You'll see it. It's over to my left hand side now. So this is the base of the quarry. You see the conveyor continuing, if you can see it, continues down through the middle of the quarry, round to our left. You'll see it there with a slightly green coloured covering, right down to a square box at the end, which is basically a crusher on legs that can walk. So this is what we're shifting. This was a great big pile of about, 150,000 tonne of dust. There's not much left of it now. We've got 3 other piles to shift, and they reckon that's going to take us up till Christmas. Up in front of us, I'll just tilt the camera slightly. That is a storage facility for the material coming up from the crusher. So it's a great big building, looks like a pyramid, And that contains probably 40,000 tonne, roughly. Okay, so here we come. We're turning around to our man on the excavator, which is Wrinkly Roger, who's about 78 years old by the looks of him anyway. He looks like he should have retired about 10 or 15 years ago, but he happily sits on the 50-ton excavator all day, loading us, and he'll give me a beep when I'm ready to pull away. I'm just going to pull up where he wants me. There we are. That's great. Maybe a little bit too far forward, but that's his problem. Just open the window so you can hear the beep when it's my turn to go. I'm going to turn the wiper off for a second. There we are. Hopefully you'll get better coverage now. So you can see we're basically going up to that very top of the quarry. And behind that is where all the dust is going to go to. Here come some other empty trucks coming down the hill. Both ours. So it's a continuous process. As you come round, there should be a truck there just about getting full, ready to go, and then it's your turn to load up and get out of town. So two of them are arriving now. Me and TARDIS are just to get our loads. As soon as I get my beep, that's me gone, and we will rocket our way up the ramp, out of the quarry at a maximum of about 8 miles an hour. When you're hauling 30 tonne, there's my beep. When you're hauling 30 tonne of dust, it's a slow process when you start getting to gradients, which is where these trucks differ from road trucks. We've only got 6 gears. But these engines rev to a maximum of about 2,600 RPM, but they've got tremendous torque. So, wipers back on again because it is still raining. It's a nasty turn in here because we've got to virtually stop to look right, look left, make sure there's no other trucks coming either way, and then we start from a dead start. So, there we go. That is 7 miles an hour. 6 miles an hour. There's another one of our trucks coming down, plus one of our competitors' trucks coming down loaded. So I'm on the uphill now, so it's my right of way for any trucks that are coming the other way until I get to the top, about where the speed limit changes from 15 to 20 miles an hour. So this is the conveyor, comes up here to the corner to this building, does a 90-degree turn, and then continues. That in front of us is a belt on a magnet, which separates any steel out and throws it into a bin. So if any machines lose a tooth or some scrap gets in, it's taken out by there. So when it goes into the secondary crusher, it doesn't cause damage. Here we go. So I'll put the wiper on continuous for a minute. Again, these are two competitors' machines coming down empty. I managed to get up to 18 miles an hour then. Back down to 9, 8. I think she's going to hold 8 miles an hour. And we're going to go into the conveyor. You start to see some of the old crushing plant here, and processing plant. This is all part of the conveyor going into the plant here. And the main crushing plant is up on the top. We're not going to see much of that, to be honest. You can see there's a section of conveyor there on the right hand side at about a 35-degree angle, which is disused, just cut off and left there. Okay, so here we go. This is where it gets interesting. So this is my right of way, and the loaded truck coming up. We don't care about our trucks getting in our way, but we do care about the ones from the competitor. Because we need to have some rules and regulations, otherwise there's going to be chaos in the quarry, so to speak. So I'll give them a little friendly wave now to say thank you, if I can be bothered. at the end of the day, he's just doing what he's been told to do. But a friendly wave goes a long way to a lonely quarry truck driver. Right, so we're on a slope here now, 7-8 miles an hour. Now, because of the tightness of the hairpin turn, I'm about to go over to the right-hand side of the circuit, of the road. I've just moved the camera slightly. I didn't realise it wasn't pointed in the right direction. There we are. So that's all their processing plant and everything in there, where they secondary, tertiary crush and screen the materials for size, and get the various single-size products that they require for whatever they're selling. This, as we turn around here now, is not a house. It's a workshop. That's a workshop. And here's one of our machines waiting because he's had a look over the edge. You can see me come in. So he's pulled in on the left-hand side, exactly where he should have done. And then in the distance, next one round, you can see another truck there who's waiting a little bit further back. There he is. Oops. Declan is a bit fucking thick. He's Irish. And I'm getting up to the grand old speed here of 18 miles an hour. And then we got the hill. And the hill drops us down to 14, 13, 11, 9, 8, 7, and finally, normally it'd drop down to 6, but it's staying at 7, which is good. It means my load must be a little bit lighter than I first thought. It's going to be interesting, this, because you're going to see how long it takes to do a complete circuit. And I believe it's about 19 and a half minutes. At the moment we're on 17 minutes and 22 seconds. So initially they said, oh, you can do 4 of these runs an hour. I said, no, you can't actually. They said, well, yeah, you can. I said, no, you can't. It's impossible. I've timed it already. So now they've had to recalibrate their forecast on how long it's going to take for the job. And they've based it on my timings. We haven't had to wait for anything on this particular run, and as I say, we're slightly lighter than probably we could be. So we're actually carrying a little bit better speed, and hopefully a little bit shorter time for the cycle. Although the cycle continuously changes because of whatever's at the other end. So as we come around here, it's quite a steep bend. We're doing about 20 mile an hour. My fuel light has come on, so I'm going to have to refuel after this run anyway. Which incidentally is around about 500 litres a day, which is, to put it in layman's terms, half a tonne of diesel per day per truck. And there's 12 of us here altogether, but only 10 trucks are in operation today. So do the maths. That's we're going to be burning about 5 tonnes of diesel. Plus we've got a dozer, which uses about 700 litres a day, and the big excavator, which probably uses about the same, about 700 litres. That big pile of dust in front of us as well, that's all going to be moved. We'll be doing that. And that'll be going into the new field as we turn through the hole in the hedge here on the left. There we are. That's our AdBlue container there in front of us, which we have to keep filled up as well, which is a pain in the arse because it's on a hand crank. And here's my mate TARDIS. Like I say, he's a little bit slower than me, so we've managed to catch him up. He hasn't got to the actual tip yet, so this is quite good actually. What I'll do, I'll pull up and you can see TARDIS doing his tip, which is a special treat for all you quarry fans out there on the Shanker 1965 video website on YouTube. So here we go. If I can get a bit of power out. Right, now I can turn and we can watch TARDIS do a tip. There he is. Might even get a wave out of him now. He doesn't know he's being videoed, obviously. There we are, look, doing a nice tip. Gives a big wave, TARDIS. There we are, off he goes, and I spin round and I tip my load right next to him. And then the process continues. And on and on and on and on and on and on for months at a time. But at least we get paid, and we're only working Monday to Friday, so it's not exactly hard work. It's like driving a big ride-on mower or a snowblower, Des. Dead easy. And it's warmer. I'm in an air-conditioned cab, enjoying the Radio 4 all day, listening to the plays, the Archers, and broadening my knowledge, as I mentioned on the phone. But there we are. That kind of completes. We're just trying to pull forward now. Drop my body down. Drop your body down. Drop your body down. And that completes a single tour of the quarry. So as soon as I can, I'll get that uploaded to YouTube, send you a link, and happy days. You can watch it in your leisure. All right, cheers, mate.